Okay, it's week 2 of about 15 weeks during our gymnastics season, and so I like to think of that as mile 2 of a long marathon where you really have to be ready to take on any and all that comes with each stretch of a race. And I think our team did a great job starting strong, doing exactly what they've been training in the gym and just transferring that into competition. That's been one of our goals leading into this season, is to start strong, but to not make it such a big deal. To let Friday just to be a reflection of the workload that they put in throughout the week. And I'm really proud of how our team, who is a little bit younger than past teams that we've had, they really jumped in, competed like seasoned veterans, and I was really proud of how they transitioned all their work onto the competition floor. As we look ahead to Kentucky, we want to keep that mindset of starting strong, handling the noise, as our first away trip presents a few additional opportunities to be distracted, but I know that this team is working hard to put that behind them and stay focused on the things that matter.
Ren said she got emotional watching, some of the girls make their debut. What was it like for you as a coach getting to watch your freshmen, start their college careers?
It's hard to put into words the feeling that goes into competing in Coleman Coliseum for the first time. I remember as an athlete seeing the lights, seeing the crowd, just feeling the joy that's all wrapped up in that moment. It really is surreal. Now, at the same time, again, you want to balance that with, it's just another moment. It's a series of little moments strung together to create a really rewarding outcome. And so it was really exciting to see the underclassmen, the returners who haven't competed yet, get out there for the first time, do a great job, and really feel the joy of the team, celebrate every single person as if it was them competing up there.
With this being a younger team, why do you think, because a lot of times in first meets, you're kind of ramping up still at the competition level and y'all started so well. What do you think it was about this team that y'all were actually able to come in and have such a strong first meet?
I will say a big part of that is a testament to our coaching staff and our team and how they have bought into the process. We have been talking about this since June, July, August, Zoom calls with our freshmen, team retreat conversations, talking about, let's start with the end in mind. What do we want to look like, compete like in April? And now let's backtrack to what's our game plan. And we've really brought them into that from the start. We have an amazing coaching staff who is so dialed in to thinking about any and all scenarios that we want to be prepared for. And so I think what they did on Friday was really just a reflection of them preparing for any and all scenarios. Now, that's not to say there's not going to be a hiccup along the way, but I truly do believe this team is ready to step into a lot of uncertainty, a lot of unfamiliar, and learn how to use their tools to still operate at a really high level.
Oh, goodness, sorry. Heading into this first road trip, what are some challenges, that come up with it?
I think the second meet is always tough because, you got the first meet where there's no expectation. It's just like start, right? You start where you start. There's no score attached to it. There's no, now I need to just keep building. And so I do think the second meet creates a bit of expectation and distraction and noise from that standpoint, where you feel like now you have to one-up your performance. And while we want to continue to get better, that might look like score, that might look like attitude of approach. We know the road to success is not necessarily this, and it's swirly, it's a roller coaster, it comes with highs, it comes with lows, it comes from learning moments. And so I think all that is noise. And we can use that noise to our benefit, or we can use that noise to our distraction. And so I think the superpower for this team is that we talk about it, that they can handle talking about it. We're not ignoring it, we're addressing it, and it's like, okay, now what can we do and what will we do to conquer the obstacle in front of us?
I think you said something in the post meet about like sending a message to the gymnastics world kind of with that performance. Then you're talking about the noise. Do you feel like starting out with such a big score, there is a little more eyes, attention on the program the way y'all started?
I think there's always eyes and attention on our program. I think anytime we go compete somewhere, there is such a history and a legacy here of what excellence really looks like that I think everybody circles Alabama as a team that they really want to beat. I love that. I think that's one area that I love. Our team is so competitive. They are eager to step into challenges like that. So I think we're looking at that as a benefit to how this team actually functions best.
Coming off of runner-ups to the SEC championship last year, and you said delivered a scary statement to the gymnastics world. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that and the direction you see for this team going into the season?
Yeah, I think this team is really capable of doing amazing things this season. But at the same time, that can be a blessing and a curse. It's just how you take the information and then focus on the things that you can control. And I say that because I think a lot of people look at a younger team and think, it's going to take them a while to figure out. And honestly, I think that's true. I think it does take a lot of time to figure it out. This was one meet that was a great, strong start, but we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of tweaks to make. We have a lot of depth to develop. We need to get new skills out there. We need to fine-tune landings. And so I want to celebrate the amazing moments, yet at the same time, keep our tunnel vision and focus on the things that we need to get better at.
Are there any injury updates on Cam and Jamison?
At this point, we're still kind of taking it week by week to figure out what our timelines look like. And so I'm not certain on what Friday looks like, but I'm pretty sure neither will be able to compete at this point, but continuing to take it week by week.
You started out with 10 of start value vaults on Friday night, which I think your first 2 years you all haven't necessarily started the season that way. Kind of why was it important for you in the first meet to throw that out there, and then kind of how important is that like going forward that you kind of already have that in the tank?
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that competing Yurchenko 1.5 on vault, which is what everybody in our lineup did, it's a really tough vault. It takes years to develop. And so one of our athletes just learned that vault this summer. Another athlete learned it 1 year ago. And so a lot of these athletes are still learning how to have the air awareness to be aggressive on the vault and put a really solid landing down. So we felt like it was important to put those vaults out early to help them gain some competitive experience to really start drilling in landings. As we navigate the season, if it looks like a slightly easier vault happens to score better, then we'll make those decisions later on. But competing a 1.5 is a 10.0 start value, so that essentially puts us at a 0.25 to 0.3 advantage if they're executed well. And so we just want to put them out there right away, as long as it's healthy and safe, to help them develop the confidence to do it well in the moments that matter.
In the press conference, you talked about 50 to 70% were new routines. Can you talk a little bit about, the trust that you have for your athletes as well as the trust that they kind of have for themselves?
Yeah, we had a lot of new routines out there for the first time, and that was from both our freshman squad and also our returners. People like Karis German, who really stepped up in a bigger capacity, Gabby Ladany, Corinne, of course, Rachel and Floor. We had a lot of newcomers to the mix that were competing different routines for the first time. And I think what was so cool was that a lot of them acknowledged that they were really nervous. And they acknowledged it, but then worked through it. And again, I just want to highlight that's something this team has worked really hard on and has done a great job of acknowledging the reality of where am I at right now and what do I need to do to get to the place where I'm going to be my best. And I think having that level of trust from athlete coach and how we work through their system is what's helped them improve in college. We want to be a program where you don't just come here and you stay where you were when you were recruited. We want our athletes to get better. And so I think seeing sophomores, juniors, seniors making their debuts in the lineup is truly a testament to them buying into a process, working really hard, and getting better as they get older. So I'm really proud of that.
Got time for a couple more? Ryan, Peyton, you said they're from the same gym. What's it like getting to watch them, going from being, I guess, prep teammates kind of now to college?
I think it's a huge advantage that Ryan and Pei came from the same club gym. A lot of times when you bring in a bigger class, it takes a long time to get to know each other. And so it's been really neat to see Ryan and Pei already have that dynamic. They already know how each other operates. They know what they need. They know when they're having a good day and a bad day. And so having that closeness in their connection has really transferred throughout the entire freshman squad.
Anything else? All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ashley.